Group the starter, crank position, stator, and neutral wires into the posted wire tie. Cinch the wire tie, cut off the excess, and put the post into the receptacle. Bundle these 4 wires up in between the V. Set the frame onto the engine. Gently guide it forward so the holes line up. Start by inserting the left side eye bracket screw and the right side eye bracket screw. Hand tighten at this time. From the left side, insert the center bolt, which is 85 millimeters long. In the left rear bolt, hand tighten both of them and come back and torque to spec. On the right side of the bike, install the 180 millimeter length bolt into the center along with the spacer, hand tighten, then install the right rear bolt with spacer and hand tighten. Come back and torque both bolts to spec. Now torque the right side pinch bolts. Next, come back and torque the eye bracket fasteners. At the swing arm, install the spacer, lower the shock, install the lower shock fasteners, hand tighten, and torque to spec. Route the associated wires over to the right side. Route the clutch line down behind the fan, then route the oil pressure wire along the clutch line. Terminate it onto the oil pressure switch. Install the 2 P-clamps onto the clutch line and also route the oil pressure switch wire into it. Hand tighten both of them and torque to spec. Connect the front O2 sensor. Take note that it is the proper wiring. Connect the right side fan. Tuck wires into place. At any time after the shock has been mounted, you can remove the flat jack. On the left side, insert the fastener for the ground strap, hand tighten and torque to spec. Plug in the left side fan. Insert the wire guide. Place on the fasteners. Install the neutral switch, hand tighten. Plug in the horn wires. Install the front coil connector. Connect the coolant temperature wires. Add a wire tie for strain relief. Cut the exhaust off. Plug in the rear O2 sensors. Take note of the wire colors. Place the airbox wire components in between the V. Route the stator wire, crank position wire, and starter wire in an acceptable fashion. Once the starter wire has been routed back, insert it onto the starter solenoid. Install the fastener, hand tighten, and torque to spec, and then slide the protective boot over it. Next, route the fuel pump wire and terminate. Then route the stator wire. Plug in the crank position sensor wire. tuck into place, and then connect the vehicle speed sensor. And plug in the rear coil. Route the brake light wires. Feed them through the bottom and plug into the sensor. Plug in the stator wires and tuck into place.